let's talk about some new books that are coming out. Hey guys, it's Steph at Steph Read Run. I'm about to go to work and I wanted to chat with you a little bit about some new books that are coming out. I'm sorry for the weird angle. It's a little weird. I am trying to experiment with different angles in my house, my apartment. I don't have a lot of options, so just bear with me. I'm just chilling. I want to sit on the floor with you and just talk about books. So, I hope your week is going well. How is everybody doing? It's Tuesday. Well, it's Tuesday right now when I'm filming this. I don't know when I'm going to post it. But it's early in the week and I'm already feeling the stress. But I think talking about new releases that I'm excited about is gonna help. So here we go. Disclaimer, a couple disclaimers. I have read all of these authors before. These are not new authors that I have like discovered in the Goodreads queue or whatever. I usually just go and look at what authors I've read before are releasing soon. And I have that list, and I also have a list of like new authors, new genres, stuff like that I'm excited for, so I'll do that in like a separate video. And also these are just books that are coming out for like in like the next like few months, probably through the rest of the year. It's a very short list. And I'm really excited about it. However, I'm going off the release dates on Goodreads. I don't know, with like COVID and everything going on, I know publication dates have been changing. So I'm just going off of what's on Goodreads. I'm sorry if that's misleading or wrong. If you guys have heard anything else about the release dates for these titles, just let me know down below. So the first book I'm really excited about, and I know I've mentioned this already, is A Sky Beyond the Storm by Sabaa Tahir. And y'all, if you have not read the Ember and the Ashes series, you need to get on it like really, really soon, because the last book, A Sky Beyond the Storm, is coming out December 1st, and it is going to be the epic finale of this whole series. It's 4 books. Every book is 5 stars. Every single one. Sabaa Tahir's writing is lush and full of just beautiful imagery and intense. And she writes all of her characters so well. You can just tell that she has so much passion and love for her characters. Basically, in a nutshell, this is a YA fantasy series that takes place in a Roman Empire-esque type world. And it changes perspective between Laia, who is a slave girl that has to infiltrate this evil empire in order to find her brother, and Elias, who is a soldier on the inside of this empire. And then also we're introduced to Helene, who's like one of the most badass female characters I've ever read. She is a friend to Elias, and we also get her perspective throughout the series. And it's very magical. There's djinn and love and romance and intensity and war, and it's just like so good. Cannot wait. We only have to wait like 4 more months for this next book, but I think it's gonna be worth it. I can't wait. If you guys are not reading it, it's one of the best series in the whole YA genre right now. I know Sydney and a group of other booktubers are doing a read-along, I think beginning in September, which I think I'm going to join in with them on that because I do need a refresher, and I will link channels down below and info down below if you're interested in that read-along. Next book I'm really excited about is Well Played by Jen DeLuca. I know I've mentioned Well Met by her on this channel before. It was one of my favorite little romances I've read so far this year. Really, really easy read. It takes place in a Renaissance fair. Well Played also continues on, I believe, with characters from the book Well Met. I don't think you have to read Well Met in order to read Well Played, but we'll see. This is about Stacy, who I believe has kind of, her love life is kind of, you know, puttered out, and she's trying to find someone to spend her life with. And I think she's good friends with a guy in the band at the Renaissance fair. And over the time when they're, you know, taking a break from the Renaissance fair, she converses over email with a man who she thinks is the guy in the band, and she's like, oh, okay, like, he's my friend, I guess I could be into that. And then they go back to the Renaissance fair, and she discovers that it was not him that she was talking to this whole time. I think it's got like Cinderella story vibes, if I'm not mistaken, you know, like Hilary Duff and Chad Michael Murray just like emailing and they don't know who each other are. It's kind of fun, right? Well Played is out on September 22nd, 2020, so we don't have to wait too long for that one. Another book I'm really excited for is Before the Ever After by Jacqueline Woodson. I've read some Jacqueline Woodson before. My favorite by her is definitely Brown Girl Dreaming. If you guys have not read that one, please go pick it up. Beautiful, 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 beautiful book. Before the Ever After is about ZJ and his father, his father was a professional football player. And he discovers that his dad his memory starts to get a little wonky and his mood starts to change, and I think this is going to follow ZJ and his journey with his father as his father deals with, I believe, something like CTE, which is, you know, the brain disorder that a lot of athletes in contact sports are developing in a later age from all of the hitting of the head. And it's a very sad disease, and I think this book is going to be really hard-hitting, but Jacqueline Woodson knows how to write beautiful stories, beautiful relationships, and I am so excited. For the Ever After is also out on September 1st, so not too much longer for that one too. I'm so excited. The next book I'm really excited about, and let's see how many times I can say excited in this video, right? Let's just count, is Black Sun by Rebecca Roanhorse. And I know I've mentioned her other series, the Six Worlds series on this channel, also really good. I discovered her because I liked the idea that she pulls from like Native American folklore for her fantasy novels, and it is so cool. And if you guys want some short but really intense high fantasy books, check out the Six Worlds series. I believe there's 2 books out right now. I'm not sure when the 3rd book is out. I don't think that's been announced yet. But Black Sun is a new series. This is, I think, a high fantasy book about gods and people with magic, but in a pre-Columbian civilization. And again, she's drawing from that Native American folklore. It's going to be so good. Her writing is so easy to read, and it's not confusing, and she just does it so, so well. Black Sun is supposed to be out October 13th, 2020. So excited. So another book I'm really excited about is The Once and Future Witches by Alex E. Harrow. I read The 10,000 Doors of January earlier this year and loved it. Her writing was stunning and creative and just so imaginative. And The Once and Future Witches is about I believe, like, there were witches at one time. It's kind of basically taking like the women's suffrage movement and like the Salem witch trials and putting them all in like the same timeline. And like there were witches, and then they, you know, were kind of run out of town or just, you know, completely destroyed. And now there's like this group of sisters that is joining like the women's suffrage movement, but also like it's a witching movement, and they want to try and bring magic back into society. And I think it's going to be really good and really like fantastical and so wonderful, and I'm very, very excited. I think that'll be definitely a book that I'm going to read this fall. The Once and Future Witches is out on October 13th, 2020. Okay, so this book sounds really, really good. I'm pretty pumped. It's In a Holidays by Christina Lauren, and this is about a girl who basically is like 30 years old. She doesn't have anyone in her life. She still lives at home, so I think she's kind of discouraged with where her life is going. And I think she goes to like her family's cabin for Christmas in Utah. And she leaves that cabin for the last time. She's super sad, and so she wishes into the world, like, show me what is going to make you happy, or show me what is going to make me happy. And all she remembers is that there's a screeching tire sound, and then she wakes up back on the plane that's bound for the cabin in Utah. So she basically gets stuck in this time loop, and she has to try and figure out how to get out of the time loop. So I think one of those things that she has to do is find this guy under the mistletoe. So I think it's going to be really fun. A really fun holiday read, good old romance. Christina Lauren books are easy to read. They're a lot of fun, very romantic, can be really steamy. Yeah, and In the Holidays is actually out October 6th, so it'll be out in plenty of time for the holiday season. Another book that I'm really excited about is Foreshadow by Emily X. Arpan, and I guess it's not really by Emily X. Arpan. This is actually an anthology by all these new, diverse YA authors that Emily X. Arpan has put together. I think it's 13 essays and short stories that is all just supposed to celebrate the genre of YA, whether it's writing YA or reading YA. Emily X. Arpan is a YA author, and her books are stunning and beautifully written, and I know that she's going to curate some really amazing essays of new YA authors that are up and coming, and I hope that it's so good, and I can't wait to get some new authors and own voices to read. It's gonna be so good. And Foreshadow is actually supposed to be out on October 20th, 2020. Okay, and then the last book that I want to touch on before I go to work is Ready Player 2 by Ernest Cline. And Ready Player 1 is probably one of my favorite books that I've ever read. And it's just, if you want something like sci-fi, fantasy, adventure, pick up that book. It was really quick. If you want a good audiobook, Will Wheaton actually reads the audiobook, and he does such a great job. It's so good. The movie was okay. The book is so much better, as it usually is. And Ready Player 2, there isn't a whole lot, like there's no real synopsis about it out yet. All it says is that it's just the continuation, which I'm very curious about because the first book kind of tied everything up, and you know, I guess there could be another adventure, but it you know, it kind of ended. So we'll see. Ready Player 2 is out, I believe, November 24th, 2020. So that's it all. I just wanted to do a quick little like books I'm excited about video that are coming out in like the next few months, few weeks. I am definitely going to keep doing these because there's always good books coming out, and I always want to just like get excited about the new books while I have all these books on my shelf that I still have to read. But yeah, that's it. If you guys are excited about any of these books, if you have any other suggestions that are coming out soon in the next few months, let me know. I hope you're all having an amazing week, and I will talk to you guys later.